What's up, world? It's the Javelin Breakdown. You might be surprised I'm not holding the Hornet here, and that's because the Hornet is with Brock on its way this weekend to New Balance Nationals. So the Hornet will be back with us next week, but it's with Brock getting ready for New Balance Nationals. So Jason's still tagging in the description, the Hornet official demo Javelin, the Javelin Breakdown. So got ourselves this 60 for today. Talking about throwing through the point again and just expanding upon what I talked about in the last post about it and showing some more flight. And so being in tune and understanding why the Javelin had a little of this or a little of that, having a feel for it so that if you're seeing that consistently in your throws, you know that something's going on that you're either doing that you shouldn't be doing or something isn't happening that needs to be for cleaner flights. So just wanted to show some of that up close and then demo some flights. This is also a test to see how y'all like using the AirPods as the microphone. I think it provides clear audio of me, but it muffles everything around, so it doesn't get as much of the spatial. And so I don't know how I feel about it. You let me know. So I want to talk about right off the bat with pulling down on the Javelin. There's two big things I see. So one is that we've got ourselves a good position with the Javelin, right? And so good is relative because some people have different opinions about carry and whatnot. But Javelin is close to the face. Okay, and the Javelin is close to 35, 40 degree angle at delivery. That's what we're talking about, is getting to that position. And at this moment here, the application of the force going this way, causing the Javelin to immediately stall. So that's like classic, just trying really hard. So Javelin's in a good position, but we pull down on it, causing the Javelin to take off like that. So that's one thing that can happen. Here's another thing though. An athlete sometimes hits the point, right, and applies force through, but sometimes not. And what happens is they come into this final position and they actually are throwing from somewhere around here. So in the process of their penultimate, that point drifts up and they're still throwing here, even though that Javelin ended up here. So same thing. They pull down on it, but they're not trying to, right? They're applying force where the Javelin was, but it's not there anymore. And so the correction isn't necessarily for that athlete about throwing it through where the point is, because the point's not in the right place. If we can establish that point, then we're going to be in a good position because they're applying their force along the correct line. The Javelin's just not on that line. So taking those things into consideration, because sometimes you might be in one of the situations or the other, or sometimes both. And so it just depends on where you are as an athlete and what issues you're facing technically. Less common, but still sometimes, is you can miss it and attack up, right? And so you can attack up. And so seeing that tail rise and quickly fall can be a case of an early effort from the arm before the legs get down. And as a result, instead of that synchronization up the line, it's very early. So, and you get caught here and there's that push. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bunch of throws with the camera further away and then commentate over later and just point out, I want you to see the subtleties of how initially the Javelin looks good and then maybe is wonky later in the flight or immediately looks a little wonky. And so just having a good feel for that can make such a difference in your session, as you can quickly identify if something's going wrong and make adjustments so that you can be efficient with your flights.